White control. Today's a control day. So we are playing we're playing some blue-white to start today. Like many decks that we play on this stream, this is a viewer-submitted deck list. I do not have strong feelings or opinions on any of the cards included here, well, except for this one. This card's great. Dream Trawler likes to kill people. I'm excited to see how this feels against Simic. A lot of these control decks that we played so far this season feel like a giant dog against Simic, so we'll see if this one feels any different. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. Oop, where is it? Where is it? There we go. Matthew, are you here? Matt just responded to my tweet. When two ships don't collide at sea, we call that a success. When two ships don't collide in Magic, we call that modern. You should go like Matthew's tweet. He's great. Suda Yummy, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Paula! Thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub and for the almost 2 years at that. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep, that is MTG Finance, Kuntz. You're not wrong. I'm afraid I don't get the joke. Yeah, modern is largely two ships passing in the night, is the reference. Yeah, Ryan. I think I just pass here and hold up the Absorb so I can flash in Omen. If you enjoy the cantrippy play patterns of Legacy, it's a great format. Like, if you like brainstorming and pondering, like, it's easily the best format to brainstorm and ponder, right? Yep, that's an RO. Oh, right, this game has sound. I forgot there were sounds. Is there a chance we get Matt back on stream at some point? Maybe when we do a weekend stream. Matt is an adult with a job. When he used to frequent, it was when I was mostly streaming in the evenings. I think I'm in for both of these, huh? Like in for a land and for a Thassa's intervention. Thank you for 9 months of playing Standard so I don't have to. Alan Den, thank you for the 3/4 of your support. Welcome back. Alright, so next turn is the Nissa turn. So I think I just land, pass back, keep holding up Absorb. You need more guest hosts. Thanks for the 53 months, Tumos. Gosh, that's a long time. Yeah, could be an Invis attack. Yep, smells like 5 color. These counter spells looking extra tasty here. You don't need to worry about the 5-year icon because I just have this version. That's true. Don't need to worry about that for a hot second. I think I'm just going to go ahead and counter this with intervention. We'll go Birth into Plains. Oh, something that I haven't mentioned today that I did post in Discord. I also tweeted too, I suppose. Christy approved me working some overtime again this weekend because there's no release weekend open, which is wild. Jeff being gone yesterday forced me into other Twitch chats and they are rancid. There was an ongoing argument that Hushbringer didn't stop Uro's self-stacking because it's not an enter the battlefield effect. Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember, Tron. There's always an event release weekend, it feels like. But yeah, I was originally going to be off because I just assumed there would be an event going on. But with no event going on, I'm going to stream for at least a little while. If the numbers are good, we'll probably do long days on Saturday, Sunday again. No, there's usually an SCG open. Is there not a regional players tour this weekend or something like that? I don't believe so. I looked on the event calendar and I didn't see anything. If there's a major streamed event going on this weekend and someone has a link to their coverage, what there's going to be coverage, let me know and maybe I'll adjust my schedule. But I looked at all the places I thought to look and I didn't see anything. So Dream Trawler here. Gets bigger when we draw cards, draws a card when we attack, lets us discard a card to give itself X-proof. Just does all of the things. The Pioneers Player Tour is in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what I thought. Weird that they killed Birth to stop it from giving me 2 life instead of killing my Omen. The fact that Birth insulates Dream Trawler from Edict effects too is pretty good. How does Escape work with Fires of Invention? You can't, the same way it works with Morph, you can't use double alternative costs. So they can escape with Fires out, but it still costs them mana, and it still counts as one of their 2 spells for the turn. Hey, Mr. 3000. Yeah, that was a mistake. There's like infinite Pioneer decks in the queue too, so we're gonna stick to plenty of Pioneer to stick to for Magic Online in the morning, so I'm gonna focus on that. The next 2 days, Thursday, Friday, I'm planning to do 2 Pioneer decks each morning. We are still gonna do some Arena, but it's gonna start a little bit later. Tomorrow's gonna be Pioneer into Historic, and then Friday's gonna be Pioneer into Standard. Yeah, I agree, Lord Aaron. Alright, so they can bounce Banishing Light, but then Uro... Oh, do they have an Edict? I'm about to get, like, Angrass rampaged here. I don't even know if it's fair so much to say Modern was a dumpster fire as much as, like, it's just not something I enjoy. Standard. You can only have one deck named Blue-White Control, and I have a Blue-White Control historic deck. And Standard doesn't fit after Blue-White Control. Feel like I probably don't want the sweepers. I'm not sure if I want Heliod's intervention here or not. Just to, like, fires might be good enough. Do I want all these births? Now, let's not make jokes about things that are serious, life-changing things for people, folks. Please, please, and thank you. Empire for Hire, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, let's do this. I don't know. We went, for people that are wondering what happened with Modern this morning, we won our first match in a really uninteresting game where I just, like, killed my opponent with a combo. And then we lost the second match in a really uninteresting game where they killed us with a combo. And then I was kind of just over it. I'm just like, this is like really dry. Does the Niv deck play any enchantment cards? I have no idea. So the opponent's not really playing an established archetype. So they could have lots of different things going on there. At least they didn't play Mox Opal though, right? Yep. Something like that. Maybe this isn't worth bringing in. I was struggling on what cards I want at the end because, like, this exiles Niv, but, like, if Niv comes into play, he draws them a bunch of cards, which probably means I'm behind. Well, I mean, like, not only that, but, like, every set prints something stupid and obnoxious into Modern, right? So, like, they banned Mox Opal, but with the introduction of Heliod, they introduced a whole nother set of combo decks, right? So, like, the first combo deck we raced, like, they were playing Heliod combo. So, like, there's always something, there's always the next thing that's gonna be busted, right? If it's not one thing, it's the next. Hoping to draw a land next turn. The story of blue-white control. How is Modern? Done in 30 minutes. Woof. That's true. I could just cantrip this. I'm trying to avoid doing that, but we're definitely heading in that direction. These should probably just be sweepers. This is where the magic happens, chat. Manaless control. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Beaks. Day off was good. I think I've located a contractor to finish my new office workspace, which is exciting. They're pretty sure they can get it done before the summer, which should be great. Would ideally like to not have another summer where I have an air conditioner humming in the background on occasion. Negative, Trey. I'll split the difference here. My ask, why do you want the office? You got other plans for the space that you're in? Well, I don't know if you remember last summer, but there's the air conditioning unit for my home is like right there. And there's definitely a hum you can hear in the background when the AC's running. But like, also like this current space that I'm in, there's a very slight reverb on the audio. And like, this is just a spare bedroom. Like, we're going to finish the unfinished room in my basement into like a proper studio space. Since I'm going to be doing this as a job still. Looks like. Gosh, am I just in for both of those? I think I'm just in for both of those. Omega Havoc, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. I guess Teferi doesn't do a whole lot. I'm gonna bottom Tef and keep the Trawler. Dafara, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, a lot of people never heard anything, but it definitely existed. I think I'm just going to draw 2 with the intervention here. An exit strategy if magic should stop working out. Yeah, I've got options. I still hear from recruiters once or twice a month from my LinkedIn profile. Some of which require reload, some of which don't. So, Hey, Applegate, I bet we're gonna see a lot more Pod Mom on this stream. Deck's real sweet. Goodbye, friends. Sorry I killed your creatures. Have a card. My wife, I'm also very fortunate, like, my wife still has a full-time job. So, like, there's that, too. Yeah, I'd be a pretty good chance that if I, like, this stopped being an income and, like, I needed a full-time job, teacher would probably be low on the list of things that I would do. Just in Bloomington alone where I live, both country and State Farm Insurance have large facilities, so could likely get a job as an analyst with one of them again. I think we just exile this. Tapped land, hold up Aether Gust here. There's something wrong with me if I feel torn going out for a fun night with friends because there are two good decks to queue. Like, not at all. Television's great. Just remember though, like, you know, if you're wondering whether or not you should stay here or go do something else, you can also catch up on YouTube later, as always. To run for office as a future career. That's something I'd like to do at some point. I don't know, it's tough. I think trying to get any type of elected position where I currently live would probably be fairly difficult. Jay Miller, thanks for the 13 months. We have my current state, both my state and congressional representative are Republicans. There are far more re-elect Dan Brady signs in the competition. I think my I'm pretty sure Darren LaHood, who's my local rep, is actually running unopposed. Yeah, it's very, very, very red where I live. Well, I guess that's not strictly true. The district I'm in, yeah, you definitely can, Crunchy. I'd be happy to play it after we're done with this. The district that I live in, is actually incredibly gerrymandered, believe it or not. So, like, the district that I'm in for my congressional district excludes Bloomington, the actual city where I live, and excludes Peoria. Yeah, Historic is on the schedule for tomorrow, Crazy Duck. As always, you can find not only when I'm playing, but what I'm playing when on my website. Yeah, all places where people actually, all places where there's more people than land tend to be blue. Blue is Democrat. I guess I could have lifelink for one more if I sequence better. I get a quick explain it like I'm 5 for gerrymandering. The best TLDR for gerrymandering is think of it if instead of people picking their elected officials, the elected officials pick who elected them. Is the best TLDR for gerrymandering. Wow, really surprised they didn't just take time wipe. Oh, because I'm dead. Got it. They get back Kenrith and then they haste these and I die. Gerrymandering is if you look up, if you shape your congressional district maps in such a way so all the people who are likely to vote in a particular way are packed together, or packed in a way that they're going to be minorities in the congressional districts they end up in. So you can make it so even though like there's more people that want to vote Democrat, like percentage wise, direct comparison, you split them up in a way that like there's one majority Democrat district and like 2 or 3 majority Republican districts. You should look up some of the congressional district maps in the United States and you'll see what I mean. The shapes they make are not particularly great. Yeah, I guess. And thanks for the tip, Crunchy. I appreciate that. Who? Exile a card from my hand. Rude. I think I just want to get rid of this. Just want to like use my mana this turn. Strongly worded letter to my congressperson. Well, my congressperson is only my congressperson because of their gerrymandered district. So I have my doubts that they would want to do anything about that. There's also like some really weird laws surrounding gerrymandering from my understanding. Like it's illegal to gerrymander based on race, I believe, but it's legal to gerrymander based on socioeconomic status or weird loophole conditions like that. Like there's certain things that like you can skew districts based on these things, but you can't skew districts based on these other things. We might actually pull through this mulligan to 5, huh? Conquer's Death and Dream Trawler could easily pull us out here. I think I cast this now. Try and find a 3-mana spell. McConnell is your senator sent help. No, that's really exciting. I hurt myself. Go knock on some doors. Is it Amy McGrath is the one that's running against him? We need people like you that are in McConnell's district who know he's a problem. Vote him out. Yeah, but like being unpopular doesn't matter in a lot of situations because like in certain places people don't care if you're unpopular so long as there's an R next to your name.
You'll thank me later.
I think I just time wipe here. I think I'm going to start by down tick, bounce this Omen, and then I can like play this land, time wipe, and then Omen at the end of their turn. One of the most important things you need to understand about the Senate right now is that McConnell in reality really isn't any worse than any of the other Republicans that caucus with him. McConnell is just the fall guy who is in a safe state, who's very unlikely to not get reelected. So by putting McConnell up as a front, it lets all of the other moderate Republicans who back the stuff that he backed kind of hide behind him and have a better chance to re-win their things, right? Like, the important thing to remember is that, like, if all of the GOP members in the Senate weren't okay with what goes on there, they could easily say no and vote differently and change that very slim majority that they have. But they don't because they're okay with it. Okay, Devout Decree, super easy to bring in here. What are the trims? I guess Teferi, is it crazy to cut Teferi time, Raveler? They don't really have things that are that good to bounce. I guess bouncing Nightmare Shepherd and Ayara is kind of okay. Is Birth very useful? The O4 does seem useful. Do I need 5 sweepers? Maybe I don't need 5 sweepers. I'm gonna try a Time Wipe and a Teferi, I think. Give that a try. You want all the sweepers? Why? The way they win is big board into Gary. I mean, I've got a bunch of counter spells too, right? Congress has a 20% approval rating, but a 98% re-election rate. That is a neat stat.
You show remorse. I'll show. No,
Yes, this is fine to bounce. That's actually a great draw because it lets me go 2 mana spell, 2 mana spell, and use all 4 mana this turn.
trust me. I have a plan.
I actually watched some of the Senate hearing during the day. I had a tweet on it yesterday. It was Mitch McConnell started off the Senate hearing yesterday by like just bold-faced lying. Just like started off by saying they were going to use the rules that they used under the Clinton impeachment and then just like had changed them in a number of fundamental ways. Teferi bouncing the 2 mana enchantments in this archetype is so good. Just like getting to rebuy these and get value again is fantastic. It's good with both Birth and Thassa is whatever it's called, the blue Omen. Our hand's not particularly good, but you know, maybe we'll draw a Trawler at some point. I don't know that Modern was a dumpster fire so much as that Modern is as Modern does. Yes, Teferi bouncing Conqueror's Death is also very, very good. When they murder his rider, you're 0-4 so they can attack your Planeswalker. Deal. Hey, that's a pretty good pickup. So this, in addition to being a counterspell, can look at our top 4 and draw 2. So we're probably going to go ahead and just do that here and try and find some gas. Yeah, I agree, Legal. The fact that he said he wasn't going to accept any changes and then ended up accepting changes was a big deal. So let's look at our top 4, take 2, kind of a baby dig through time. Definitely taking Trawler. I just take Conqueror's Death too, just in case they have like an Edict effect here that can make me sacrifice my Trawler. Perfect. We drew the Thassas. Corrupted by Phyrexian Oil. I don't know about that one. That's great too, because you can rebuy the Conqueror's Death. Hey, Moldy Locks. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Many of them are definitely corrupted by regular oil. To be fair, there's a number of centrist corporate Democrats that also feel the pinch of regular oil. As my last comment on politics before I push along from the subject for the remainder for now, is that the one thing that's always important to point out, I feel, is that when people talk about both parties being the same, you should very easily point out to those folks that there's a reason why there's progressive Democrats primarying centrist Dems, and the same thing doesn't happen on the other side. It's a very, very important distinction, I feel. All right, so hit you for 5, gain 5. I think I want to just break up... I think I want to break up their devotion a little bit here, so I don't get beat down in combat too bad. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and Banishing Light the Murderous Rider. I don't think it's fair to say that the Democrats are terrible. Like, there's people like AOC and other progressives in there that are, like, actually fighting for change and running grassroots campaigns. So saying they're both terrible is disingenuous. It's ignorant of reality. The fact that they sack their thing in response to Banishing Light is actually great for us here, because it means next turn I can Teferi pick the Banishing Light back up. Trawler's great. This is a card that's not only very powerful, but I think it's very well designed. This is a control finisher that control decks want to play. I agree, Kane. I don't even think that's a controversial opinion. I think that's a good take. I think finishers that control decks want to play that end the game before someone dies of old age is ideal. Yeah, the key is not just printing good control finishers. It's printing good control finishers that people want to be playing anyways. That's the real ticket. What makes Dream Trawler so expensive? It's very expensive. It can't just be removed. The activated ability is what makes it special. You have to have a sweeper or an edict effect. The thing that makes it notable is the fact that it's difficult to remove. It's like a Baneslayer Angel that draws you extra cards and is difficult to kill. It's the trifecta. It's a sticky threat that stabilizes you against aggro and draws cards against control. It's good against actual every archetype. You discard a card to tap it, give it hexproof. It lets you win races. It's real good. Yeah, a lot of these decks, edicts aren't even that good against it. It's way better than Pearl Lake Ancient. Pearl Lake Ancient was not a very good Magic card. Hey, Mr. Maple Syrup. Dream Trawler into Crisis. It's an interesting thought. Yeah, I would not, I don't know, like saying it's for sure playable is a bold statement, but I would not be surprised if it was playable. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and field this castle before they get a chance to draw any cards with it. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, Teferi. Trawler is the tool that, like, when you would normally be hitting garbage time, it just kills them instead of making you sit in garbage time. Okay. Yep, unfortunately the overlay is a third-party tool. And I can't, that's not something that I can just say, hey, fix it. You know what, I probably should have scryed during map keep. I have more than enough mana. I should talk to my Twitch rep, actually, and see if they can guide me through submitting my own extension. Because Deckmaster's fully open source, so it should be pretty trivial for me to fork it and submit my own version of it that I can, like, update. Because I have server space I can run it on through one of the open source projects I contribute to. Like, because it should be trivially easy to add new cards in when a new set comes out. There's no reason it should take long. Other than the person who maintains it doesn't notice. Just like, opponent has Grey Merchant Dust for double digits worth of damage. It's just like, hasn't mattered. It's like, yeah, good luck, Godspeed. Yeah, Cardboard Live's not open source, so I can't compile it to run on my system. If I'm being honest, I'd rather fork Deckmaster than use a closed source project. I don't know how decks are supposed to beat Trawler once you get it online. So if you click the gear in the top right, there's this red button that lets you beat Trawler. Yeah, I haven't really contributed anything directly to Teferi. I still pay for their server though. Like my personal website runs on their server space because I donate the server to the project. You can also press escape. Oh, that's good. There's hotkeys to get here. That's good. So, like, this Conquer's Death is going to bring back Teferi, and Teferi's going to pick back up this Conquer's Death. We're actually spending a good amount of time in garbage time this game, huh? Praise be to Wolf, right? I mean, Birth was really good that game, right? Like, it was super relevant. All the stuff we got, chat. Yay, 20 gems. That's true. Killing them before they get to turn 6 is a good way to beat Trawler too. Hey, Ironclad. Thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Yeah. If you counterspell a Trawler. Growl, eh? Absorb. Both of these are great. Are you just like double top? Sneeper keeper? Cause it's a sneeper keeper. Do 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 do. Sneep ba ba keep ba ba do 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 do. Gonna stomp my face. Just gonna go ahead and absorb this, I think. The curve is probably gonna be intervention, draw some cards next turn, time wipe the following turn. He says before he draws birth. Nah, I think that's probably still the play. Even if they like have questing beasts here, I'm only going to 8. The fact that this like lets you draw cards when they don't play into your counterspell is so good. Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. All right. Am I interested in time wiping just these 2 creatures? Gosh, I feel like I'm not, huh? Maybe this is wrong. The birth is going to make them extend a little bit wider, though. And it'll gain me 2 life back at the last chapter, which is great. Yeah, I guess Cleave is not great scene for us. That's fair. I'll split the difference on those. It's unfortunate I haven't had a Teferi yet. I guess I'm just dead. Oh, I'm not dead to another questing beast because this is going to gain me 2. Sweet. Yeah, I think all other complaints aside, Theros really feels like it hit the ball out of the park on most metrics. So I've got 7 mana right now, so next turn I can go field, Banishing Light something, and still make a 1/1. Waiting for a Dream Trawler here. Dead to Questing Beast. Dear opponent, please don't kill me. If they don't kill us here, the game ends very quickly. Yeah! Now there's a finisher. Now there's a finisher, chat. Sign me up. That is tasty. All right. Teferi's pretty mediocre in this matchup, right? Is this card playable? It's 3 mana, destroy target Embercleave. It can also gain me twice X. Stroke might also just be the inclusion. It's probably just Stroke, huh? This counters Cleave, Annihilia, and Questing Beast. Trawler's very good. This card will easily be a standard playable, a standard staple. It's likely Pioneer playable as well. Now, I don't think you ever board out Trawler. I think that card's great everywhere, basically. It's going to be leaning on this to find us something useful here. They go 1, 2, 3 on the play. We could be in a bit of trouble. That's very scary. Yeah, I agree, Shivry. I also think the average designs in Theros are much better. You know, honestly, I just kind of have to wonder, like, what would this format look like if War of the Spark just didn't exist? Like, if War of the Spark was non-existent, this format's just stellar, right? I feel like there's a small chance that that's true. It seems, for the record, the format seems mostly fine even with War of the Spark. It's just, with that gone, I feel like we'd be in an incredibly sweet spot. I think we're probably dead here. The Cinder Vines is just gonna mow us down after we take another hit here that puts us down to 6. And like we're at a virtual 4 because it steals 2 when it cracks. So we're dead to a 1/1. We're dead to a Questing Beast. Yeah, getting to be on the play for game 3 should be a big deal. If/when we die here. Dead to Spellbreaker. Excuse me? Excuse me? Okie doke. I'm gonna put my boy in. Go. Draw one more brick for me. For people that are asking about modern, modern is as modern does, chat. Alright, now we just like, don't let him resolve a spell. Yeah, I mean, the game's over, right? Just a plus example of. They only have 3 upright, so I need to do 2 for this, because it's twice X. Is there anything that punishes me for playing this at end of turn? What could punish me? So like, if I played this, I could take 3 basically, because I take 1 and then 2 from Cindervines. There's nothing that deals 4. They can have like risk factor. I think I'm supposed to play this. Because I just want more mana available on my turn. Hey, F Dragon, thank you for the 5 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, so we'll flip this back. Wow, they actually bottomed that. That's interesting. What are we looking for here? Like absorb or just another counterspell? Aether Gust, absorb. Another intervention. They're dead next. Well, Thassa only doesn't draw cards. It looks at them and then puts them into your hand. And it only would draw, it only gets you 2 cards, even if that was the case. Alright, one more turn. Are we done here? Alright, so I assume we're done here. Dream Trawler. Taking the door and slamming it shut. Opponent stumbled for a split second there. And Dream Trawler just put the game hugely out of range for them. Very, very impressive. It's not just the control finisher you want, it's the control finisher you need, chat. We've become the villain. Nah, Breeding Pool's still the villain in this format. Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool Nissa is the villain. We're the good guy. I suppose, though, everyone's the hero of their own story, huh, chat? Is Trawler going to be a card that everybody wants nerfed in 3 months? 100%. Hey, Dalen. Glad to be back. Hope all of our normal members of Hoaglandia were reminded what other Twitch chats were like after yesterday. Squawk, eh? think I'm just gonna hold up Intervention this turn. Yeah, main deck Hushbringer is interesting. Wonder how many times they've been tightened. So, one of the things that you need to understand about there being different good players and rating cards wildly differently is that there's a lot of people, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to pick fights, but there's a lot of people who play a lot of Magic and are really good at playing Magic, but they're not really good at evaluating cards. And if you want to go look up your own examples, go back and dig through and go look and see which pros told you that Jace the Mind Sculptor and Stoneforge Mystic were going to break Modern. That'll give you a good baseline for who understands how to properly evaluate cards within the context of the format in which they're going to be played. We've not physical. That's actually one of the decks in the deck queue though, so we're going to get to it at some point, I promise. A lot of Pioneer stuff in there currently. I feel personally attacked. Yeah, I mean... Wow! Main deck formation. Get got, I guess. Is the part where they play Heliod and dumpster us? Yeah, opponent played this really well. Main deck formation is brutal. Hey, thanks for the 6 months, JPaz. So you're talking about R&D, right? Part of it is talking about R&D. Yeah, honestly. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a quote from people on Play Design talking about how they were worried about Stoneforge coming off shortly before it did. Draw it up. Okay, we're dead on board. Let's see if they figure it out. If I block like this, I guess I'm not dead if I do this, huh? So the problem is this gives protection. See, I think this is the line. I block here, and then I scry 2 at my upkeep, looking for another Shatter the Sky. I think cards like Umazawa's Jite and Punishing Fire are a lot like Teferi Time Raveler. They're not too strong, but they create play patterns that are altogether rancid. What did the opponent mess up, Crunchy? Can you be specific about what mistake they made? Because I don't see a mistake that they made here. What do you think they should have done differently? Hey, Terrible, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I wasn't dead on board. I was wrong. I was dead if I blocked a 2-power thing. So my initial assessment was incorrect. I was not dead on board. They just, the way they played made it so I couldn't, the way they played made it so I couldn't jump block, which is what I originally, or so I couldn't eat something, which is what I originally wanted to do. GTA is disgustingly strong too. It's not really. GTA is contextually strong in a format where creature combat doesn't really matter and like people aren't really hitting with creatures. GTA is not that good. Am I just clicking submit here? I kind of think I'm just clicking submit. What kind of feedback are you looking for in Agonizing Remorse? As in, is it playable? Yes, I think most black decks should have 4 Agonizing Remorse, likely in the main deck, at the very least in the sideboard. From a card design perspective, I hate 1 and 2 mana discard spells. I think they're awful and I wish they'd stop printing them. But as long as they are printing them, they are very good. When you have access to blue and black, is that a takeover thought erasure? Why not both? .jpg. Why you gotta make me pick just one? That's actually very true. GTA used to be better when damage used the stack, which is funny to think about.
Let's slow this down. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Yeah, I mean, like, Modern has some combos that are similar to the combos in Legacy 2. Not having to deal with that oops, you randomly die is a great change.
At your service.
Birth's your favorite card in the set. It's a very good card, to be fair.
Your light will cleave.
Wall of. Not quite Wall of Omens. Still pretty good. I think I just go tapped land Banishing Light here. Take Chad off the table. What do you think of Crocs as a design? I think Crocs is really good. I think what's it called is poop. I think the blue-green Titan is some hot nonsense because since apparently every card like that is hot nonsense these days, every blue-green card, but I think the red-black Titan is really well done. All right, what am I doing here? Is it just Birth? I think I'm just Birth. I think I Birth and pass. We can hold up Intervention as a counterspell here, / Omen of the Sea. Although I might just draw 2 with one of these rather than Omen, just be mana efficient. I don't know. I think the red-black Titan is playable. I think the blue-green Titan is just much better. Like, it literally only costs 1 more mana, and it's so much better for just 1 more mana. So this is just a 4 mana draw 2, just like. Thank you, Chemist's Insight. So we'll go Teferi. Bounce Birth.
Don't worry, I got this.
Play Birth. This doesn't get protection from artifacts, right? Or colorless? Just color your choice so it can't slip past the wall. So you're saying Croc should have been targeted this card, yeah? You know, that was kind of the other thing about playing. If I bump my standard deck past Esper, would that get it played today? So my general cut the line rules, Rebecca, is that it's a $50 donation to get something cut into the current day's set schedule. Because I always prep all the different decks in advance. So obviously it's much less than that to get it played on the next standard day. But usually I look for a premium to get something played the same day to discourage people from disrupting my schedule. Did you make the primer for the Vanifier deck? I did submit a primer for the Vanifier deck to my editor last night. Thanks for the half a year forklift. I don't know when exactly they're going to publish it, because I didn't send it in till like 10:30 last night. It was a late night. So looking for another sweeper here. Even if we brick on a sweeper, I'm getting another 0-4, and then I'm getting a Banishing Light. Trawler. Yeah, sure, why not? I guess Trawler's actually not good here, because Trawler just gets diddled by this, right? This is actually a really good answer to Trawler, huh? Oh, I can't field because of Tumek. I was going to field their castle. I think I'm just passing. Yeah, we're definitely ahead. I just need to make sure to not die by mistake. Yeah, this taps itself when it gets hexproof, so like I can't stop Giant Killer from tapping it. Killer's actually very good against Trawler in terms of fogging it. Unbreakable Formation. Yeah, that one can't happen. All right, so we're gonna take 4 here down to 6. I don't think I want to scry at my upkeep. Swish. Swish. Bye, friends. Didn't need the scry yet. Exactly. We knew it was up. They might not concede now, but I bet they concede to the Trawler next turn. Thanks for the tip, Rebecca. I appreciate it. Oh, I just got combo deck. Sounds good. Trawler does take a while to kill from 38, but it's going to gain us enough life that this game is over. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's run it back. Is it worth it getting the top 1,000 in Mythic if I'm already Mythic? Well, this month, the Mythic qualification is pretty worthless. The thing that it qualifies you for next month has no meaningful prizes outside of some Mythic points if you're in contention for Mythic point related things. The only other prizes other than Mythic points are 200 gems per match win. So if you spend this month qualifying for the thing, you could potentially earn $10 worth of gems next month. So, no, unless you're really going to enjoy getting to the top 1,200, there is nothing meaningful for getting to the top 1,200 this month. Not even a lotto ticket. White aggro is very good, John. It's definitely my pick for aggro deck early in the format. My preferred list is up on my website. We've played it a couple of times. I think I just keep turn 4 Shatter, right? Even on the draw. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Rebecca. Yeah, it's definitely become a favorite. It's been really sweet. 10 whole dollars, yep. How is Archon been? We've not boarded it in. I'm not really sure what it's for. Well, remember that time I kept a hand with Shatter the Sky? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Mythic is trash this month because Magic the Gathering Arena doesn't support premier competitive play.
I believe in you, friend.
If you want to play competitive digital Magic, you need to play Magic the Gathering Online. Magic the Gathering Online has competitive tournaments for every format, including Standard, every single weekend. Which is sad. I really wish Arena had that. Arena is much faster and slicker.
Prepare for battle.
There's no ranked draft this month. You can draft right now on Magic's premier digital client, Magic the Gathering Online. Man, we're gonna get formation tier again. It's gonna suck. And by it's gonna suck, I mean we're dead. Moto does have the Nyx lands. Pretty typical control deck problems. Kept a hand, dependent trying to lean on a particular answer. Opponent ended up having threats that answer didn't line up well into, and we died.
I believe in you.
All right, let's try one more with this. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Like, I think a lot of the reasons why Arena doesn't have the features we want is because Arena is just not a release-ready piece of software. Arena is incredibly lacking in features. Like, I think if they could snap their fingers and add a lot of the things people want to Arena, they would add them. But they can't. They just don't have the resources. They don't have the tools. They don't have the bandwidth. They don't have the funding to get the tools and the bandwidth. Arquist taken. Thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Magic Online has a friends list too. It has a friends list. You can message people on the friends list. It's not just a list of things to facilitate direct challenges. My beard is good. Thanks. Green, white enchantments, maybe?
This isn't a fight you can win.
We'll bounce this so we can get another planes next turn. Can gain indestructible. When it dies, it comes back as an enchantment. Alright, well, on the back of Birth and Teferi here, we got to hit all of our land drops at least, which is great. Got that going for us.
I'll protect you.
I'll protect you. Yep. So I can't sweep this because they can pay 2 and make it indestructible. However, next turn, Teferi's going to get to down tick bounce it, which is nice.
Done the hero thing before.
This doesn't trample currently, so I've got plenty of 0-4s to throw in front of Tef, which is great. Gets 1-1 and Vigilance. Sure. It does not get hexproof, just indestructible. You're thinking of Fleece Mane Lion was the one that got hexproof in older sets. So, obviously the Bronze-Eyed Lion lives here. Whenever I get to untap and do it again. Enjoy your cards. Sentinel's Eyes seems very good with Seasons of Growth.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Eyes with that does seem good. Gives it 1-1 Vigilance and can escape back into play. I'm pretty much the most popular streamer for Magic by far. I am not. Croakies, Day9, Caleb, Durward, and I'm pretty close to Newmont. Croakies, Day9, Newmont, Nox when he's streaming, they all average more concurrent viewers than I do. I would bet that I'm gonna start by bouncing this. I would bet that I probably have some of the most watch time for individual Magic content though. Just once you factor in my YouTube channel though, because a lot of the other big people who have a lot of viewers on Twitch for streaming Magic don't also curate a YouTube channel as well as I do. I also know for a fact I have the most subs of most people who stream Magic. Day9 probably has more than me, but like I know I clear Caleb and probably Croakies still in terms of sub count, which that's the metric that I actually care about, the one that pays the bills. This is new.
Don't worry, I got this.
Trample, one attack. Man, this card's like really hard to kill in these mid games, huh? I guess I could just like sit here and Teferi this over and over again. I guess I want to get to a point where I can Teferi it and then absorb it on the way back down. Did Croakies come from another game? I don't believe so. Day 9 is great. We are very lucky to have him in the Magic community. He's brought a lot of people in. Yeah. Croakies and Gwent before Magic. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's technically a blue source, right? Because they have non-basics. And I'm still at like 22, so like they have a lot of cards and they're gonna draw more cards with the season of growth, but like we're not in danger of dying, which is nice. Have a good one, Karn Daddy. I mean, Conqueror's Death is gonna tag this, but yeah, Conqueror's Death definitely doesn't seem particularly stellar here. They get to draw what, 2 cards here now? Banishing Light would be a great draw too. We do have 4 Banishing Lights here. That would be nice to, again, just like typical like kind of control deck issues, like we're looking for a specific thing and it's not showing up. They probably have Chymetra's Blessing. What does that do? And does it matter while I have a Time Raveler in play? It'll be, so like I personally don't have any interest in Runeterra, but I'm going to be interested to see how many people who came into Magic with Arena end up jumping ship over to there. It'll be, I'm curious to see what the content landscape in Magic looks like, you know, 6 months from now. Be interesting to see if folks stick around. I feel like there's a good chance that anybody who's just chasing viewer count is probably better off with the bigger game. Like, I will not be shocked if, like, Runeterra has higher viewer counts than Magic does. I do hope that Runeterra encourages WotC to realize that this is not just free money and they have to work for it. Yeah, that's true too. You'll have people that will try to jump ship, and then if it's not successful in the long term, they'll come back to Magic. There's also something too, like, even if Runeterra is a really good game, really good games with shallow card pools have a hard time competing with Magic for a lot of people. Like, even a good new game needs a year or more of being released to have the same card pool as a standard Magic release. Runeterra is a new digital card game that's being released by Riot Games using the League of Legends IP. Runeterra won't make it. I think anybody saying that right off the bat is not based in reality. I think you're right that it's a hard industry to break into, but if anyone can do it, it's someone that has as much money as Riot. They probably played God's Willing, right? I really wanted to draw a land tier so I could actually I wanted to draw a sweeper. That's what I wanted to draw. I'm at 22. Do I just pass the turn and Thassa's intervention to look for the sweeper? I think that's the plan. I think it's just pass with absorb up so I don't die, and then the intervention dig 5 at end of turn. They play the +2/+2 hexproof indestructible for enchanter or enchantment creature. Okay. Oh, I gotta do this, right? Or I'm gonna die. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage. Okay, just let this happen. I think we're gonna have too hard of a time stabilizing here. It took us too long to find the answer to the Bronze-Hide Lion, and while we were floundering around trying to not die to that, they developed too much over the rest of the board. Yeah, we're dead. Correct, Gremlin. If they even bring a tiny percentage of League of Legends players into their game, they will immediately have an audience that's possibly even larger than Magic. Like, you have to remember Magic's like one of the biggest, oldest card games, but in terms of like how it compares to other like real video games, the player base is still quite small digitally. Elspeth Conquers Death seems real bad here. Let's trim that one. Gust and Heliod's intervention seem great. Well, what's the trim here? Teferi to stop their protection spells seems reasonable. Maybe just trim like the 4th absorb. That seems fine. Trim a Dream Trawler? No, I need to be able to kill them. Pretty sure Trawler's a sacred cow and we never cut it. Brawl is kind of like a Fortnite card game because you can only play it once per week. That's not true. You can pay $10 to play it whenever you want. Happy Brawladays, happy Brawladays. If I wanted to play competitively, would it make sense to use Arena as free-to-play to learn an archetype well enough and then transition to MTGO? Yeah, probably from a cost efficiency perspective. This card's very good, I agree. Instantly, an enchantment's important. Having lifelink, it just works in a lot of the different archetypes. Dota is the biggest MOBA. Is Dota bigger than League? That can't be true, right? I feel like League is vastly. I guess I don't know. Yeah, League is much bigger, right? From my understanding. Both of these seem fine, huh? The competition on MTGO is different than on Arena. I disagree with that fundamentally. I think bad and good Magic players exist everywhere. Steiner, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Any idiot can pay money and play a Moto League. You have to invest some time in play to get to Mythic on the arena ladder. Yeah, the difference is MTGO players like gambling. That is correct. There's this fallacy that I often hear among Magic players that, like, just because you're gambling, it means if you're willing to gamble, it means you're better at the game, and that's just not true. Go to any casino, and you'll know that that's not true.
Stand by and watch.
Gonna banish the Bronze-Eyed Lion here. Hopefully this is a game where we can win, because we didn't spend infinite time trying to kill this Bronze-Eyed Lion. Oh, I'm dumb. They have the thing. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Let's try this.
Oh, yeah, I could have bounced the Isle, right? I guess if I bounce it, they could sack it in response to deny me the card draw. Oh, I could pick the light back up. That's a good thought. That's a really good thought. I didn't really need the card draw. Yeah, we'll probably get set up to Heliod's intervention here in a second. Just, like, clean out all their stuff. Without the 2-mana green enchantment, they don't have endless cards here, which is nice. And, like, this is only a 6/5, so, like, Trawler races it no problem. Thoughts on playing Trawler and racing Lester? Well, obviously, I don't think it's right because I didn't do it. So if you think it's right, tell me why you think it's right. Usually if I don't take the play, it's because I don't think it was right. Maybe because the Teferi can do this, it's right to do that. I don't know. Feels like we've got a wealth of riches here and it doesn't really matter. They've got 2 +1/+1s, then a +1/0 and trample. I'm just gonna double gust this. Just like double gust and then Omen at the end of turn. Like Magic, I don't have to click fast. I agree, turn-based games are great. And they bottomed the Lion because they know they're not racing the Dream Trawler in their current state. That is a Sentinel's Eyes. Gives 1/1 in Vigilance and can escape it back into play. I'd like to attempt to exile that one. Deal a Reno. Birth is great. Trawler's great. Blue-white control is great. Return to nature. Sure. Yep. This is a way they can get back in the game here. So they get to cast these on Bronzeside. Season of Growth was a good draw for them. Draw some cards here. Oh, I guess I could have interventioned. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to just intervention, huh? This is an instant. We had some slops that game, but it didn't matter because our answers lined up well. It's the game where we have to win on the draw. There's an end game to Skyrim? That's a lie. I think I'm gusting this season here, and then we'll Thassa's intervention on the way back down. Actually, nah, let's just do their creature. Let's just gust their creature, and then we'll go land, intervention the creature next turn. If I played Witcher, I've not. The Netflix series was good, though. The end game to Skyrim is like the end game to Control decks. When you get bored, you decide to leave. That's such an apt comparison. Yeah, this is fine. Witcher series is the best video game series of all time. And strong praise. This is not an enchantment, right? Intervention's a good draw. Can destroy both of these next turn. Yes. Am I just interventioning the two seasons? No, okay, so I'm gonna let this happen. I think my plan is let this happen. And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw 2 with Thassa's intervention here, and then untap and Heliod's, kill all 3 of these. Is my plan. So we'll do this. Oh, crap. I totally didn't realize this can protect enchantments. That's really interesting. Hey, Trax, thanks for the host. Hope you had a good stream this morning. Man, that card's really good, huh? Okay, definitely should have just killed both seasons on their turn. did not realize that this could protect one of them. Yeah, I think the Jeskai deck is reasonably competitive. It felt really good last time we played it. Dream Trawler's a heck of a card. Yeah, we might have a hard time beating them with them getting to keep the Season of Growth here. It's a pretty big mistake that I missed that this new cards, all that jazz. Don't have all their text committed to memory. This draws them a lot of cards over the course of the game. Vomit. Okay, if they have some enchantments here, they're gonna like bury us. I think that's fine. Curse this client for not having an always yield option. It's real frustrating in situations like this. Just have to sit here and keep clicking resolve. So there is a really F6 button. The problem is I don't want to really F6 because if they try and kill my Dream Trawler, I need to be able to discard a card. How do we win here? We could find another Heliod's intervention and get rid of this. Dream Trawler also lets us race them okay, which is nice. Or apparently we cast Teferi Time Raveler and they get really frustrated and concede. Maybe they had something come up. Left shift plus enter passes priority. Do I have a Mastery Orb? That's exciting. No, never mind. Not exciting. Almost a Heliod's intervention. Shatter the Sky, Heliod. I don't know. I don't feel like I have any particularly strong thoughts on this deck. It's kind of just playing a reasonable selection of good cards. Good clean upgrades to this kind of control archetype from Theros. Like, look at this deck. It's playing a ton of Theros cards, right? Like Birth, Omen, Intervention, Shatter, Conqueror's Death, Trawler, Banishing Light. Like, it's mostly new cards. We didn't get to play against any Simic ramp, which has felt challenging for the control decks that we played so far this season, but I'm interested to see how this compares to the other control decks we're going to play later today. If you're someone that's got a duck out and you want a more concise wrap-up, check back in on the end of the blue-black control and Esper control decks we're going to play later today to see. I'll hopefully have some comparisons between the two there, because as is, it's just like, seems okay, played a lot of good cards, has reasonable answers, Dreamcrawler's nice for killing people. So, all right. Any rate, I'm gonna hit a quick ad roll while we get set up for the next one. We had someone cut in green-white enchantment, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that loaded up here. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some green-white enchantment. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.